name is Tina and welcome to my second channel. I think this is the second video I'm making here. I'm not using it too much, I know, but this is what the second channel is for whenever I have like a random thought that wouldn't make really into a video and it's longer than just a tweet. So just a little context, I just watched Scott Pilgrim vs. the World because I wanted to see the movie before the anime releases next month. I wanted to be like one of those, I have seen the movie before the anime. And in general, I heard good things about it, so I just watched it and it was great. And it actually sparked a little thought process that I have for so long. And actually, I have even gotten into debates about that previously. So I just wanted to put out my thought in a longer form than just 2 tweets. Just watched Scott Pilgrim and I love the movie for 2 reasons. My second point was not all movies need to be serious, not giving an F can work too, which is obvious. Sometimes you need to go a little weird. I don't necessarily know if Everything Everywhere All at Once is a great example here, because like the whole aesthetics was part of the story. What I meant here is you don't always have to be serious with like the effects and have realistic stuff. Just having these random gamer UIs sometimes, it doesn't really add to the whole story, but it gives like a feel of wow, that's cool kind of stuff. Kind of like reminds me of YouTube when people were doing all these crazy effects. I know this is based on a graphic novel. I know that they wanted to mimic like that style. I know, just like in a film medium, I'm talking about how I would prefer if more movies wouldn't really give an F. And once again, I know Everything Everywhere All at Once, that makes sense in the story that so many crazy things are happening, but the aesthetics is kind of similar also across the Spider-Verse, which I know is another comic book. I know, not necessarily only little like comic effects, but just don't take yourself too seriously. Just like simple things like instant transitions to like the hat, for example, with Scott. So just things that like doesn't make sense, but it's like good, you know, it feels good even though if it doesn't make sense. And now, whatever, I want to get to the first point, and also it's not gonna get too much spoilery. I don't want to spoil stuff, but I don't think it's a spoiler if I just say that not all movies need to have a good protagonist. Having an effing S of a protagonist who you hate below your heart can make a good story too. And again, I don't really want to spoil Scott Pilgrim or any movies, just in a general idea. I would like more movies where you hate the protagonist. Especially with the surge of superhero movies recently, I had this feeling that, oh, here's a good guy on the screen, that good guy is gonna do good things, or maybe the good guy is gonna do like one bad thing, but then everyone just forgives them at the end of the movie. So I never really have the feeling that in a lot of movies you would hate the protagonist. And I think that's just a missed opportunity. Like there's so many potential in just hating the protagonist. And this is exactly why I love Scott Pilgrim, because you just hate Scott Pilgrim. You only have to watch 10 minutes of the movie to understand why you hate him. And I have seen some discussions online already before the anime hits, but probably it's gonna get even more attention when the anime hits, that oh my god, now you're glorifying his actions and like what he's doing and who he's dating. And I'm just like, no, I don't know how you can get to the conclusion at the end that this is a guy that's like good. No, he is a horrible person. And the same goes for Breaking Bad. I know totally different stuff, but like I hear so many people saying that you shouldn't glorify matchmaking. They don't. It literally ruins the guys' lives. The protagonists are not good people. This is the title of the video and this is what I want to talk about. I so much want more series, more movies about people as protagonists who you hate. I wanna hate the protagonist. I want stories where you don't wanna relate to the protagonist. I hate that person. And now comes an opinion that I have gotten some flack for in the past, is that I like Kuzuna Honkai. This is a manga and anime and also live action series, and maybe that light novel as well. It is a story that basically came out at the same time. I guess it was a test how it would work if they kind of do the same time, this medium. And spoiler alert, okay, no, not really spoiler, I don't want to spoil again anything, but every single person in this manga are horrible people. When I tell people that I love this manga and as well as the live action series that I watched, honestly I haven't watched anime, but I've seen clips from there as well. Whenever I mention I like this one, the first response I always get is that, well, the people are so bad in there. And I'm like, yes, I don't agree with their actions. I think all of them are horrible people in here. There are just really horrible stuff in here, which some of them probably wouldn't really fly with the Western audiences. So there are a lot of, same for Scott Pilgrim, I guess. So many things wouldn't really fly, I think. Maybe in the manga anime world, but and I still like this story because not all people in a story have to be great people. Actually, I like stories when there are bad people, and not just like these like made up bad people. I think the best bad example is Thanos. Like when Thanos killed half the population and some people were like, maybe he has a point, No, he doesn't. Sometimes I just want to see bad people because that's real life, I guess. And when people act, how can I like this story of so many bad people? I'm sorry, have you seen the viewership on drama channels? And that is real life with people, oftentimes all parties to a degree being at fault, to a degree being bad people, and millions of people are watching that. At least this is fictional. The point is where I started. I like Scott Pilgrim, the movie, but I don't like Scott Pilgrim as a person. And I can already see when the anime comes out, people are gonna be like, whoa, this is very iffy. I don't know if they're gonna change some things in the anime. There are some things you can't really change, and I am not 100% sure how it's gonna fly. We see a lot more worse stuff in anime, so not an American anime though, so I don't know. The movie showed me, at least for me, that there is some demand for movies where you don't appreciate the protagonist, you don't think the protagonist is a good person, you don't really cheer for him. Honestly, I didn't really cheer for Scott. The fight scenes were great. I'm not gonna spoil what happens, but at no point I was like, yes, Scott, you can do this. I was just like, yeah, cool fight scenes, and it's just a great story. Imagine if it was a drama channel. You guys are watching, for example, XQC's whole relationship drama on millions of channels for millions of views, and you can watch that while knowing that this person is not a great person. Same way you can watch movies with the same mindset. I just want to see more of these, please. I just want to see more movies where the protagonist just is a horrible human being. And also, another example, Arcane. League of Legends Arcane. If in case you haven't seen Arcane, watch it. Arcane is another example, I think, that somehow people took like the good way. It's the same with Scott Pilgrim. Maybe just people really hung up on like that one fact that I said a little iffy. But Arcane is about the same. There are no real good guys and bad guys. Who's good, who's bad? I don't know. And I think that's what makes a story great. People are not just good people. And sometimes people are just bad people. And they're not gonna be good people at the end of the movie. No, they just stay as bad, and that's amazing. So give more of this, please. You can still have learnings, like this movie has some learnings. Basically just showing like, hey, you see what he's doing? Yeah, don't do that. It's a really weird world. A lot of things don't make sense on purpose. A lot of things are just random, but somehow people are just realistic. As weird as it sounds, they're just realistic that there is a person who is a bad person and he is doing bad things, and at the end he is still a bad person, and there's another person who was wronged and then she can still do bad things. So I think those are real human emotions, and that's what I need more. Not just superhero movies where there is a super good person and a super bad one, even though those can be fun as well. I don't hate superhero movies, just they are a category, and I just need this very niche category as well when characters are not necessarily good guys, because I want more bad people in movies. I don't know if there is anyone else who likes Kusuno Honkai for the same reason. Write me a comment. Who is your favorite bad guy? Please give me more. Give me more bad guys. Give me more bad guys. Give me more bad guys.